All right, now that we have the copper tube prepped and ready to go, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it into a bench vise or something else that you would have in your shop just to hold it into place. So I'm gonna put it between the jaws and I'm just gonna supply light pressure to it. I don't wanna put so much pressure that I'm gonna pinch the pipe together. I just want it to hold into place. This way my hands can be free to hold the torch and solder. So before I begin to solder, I'm gonna put a pair of gloves on, just so I don't have to worry about any solder, flux, touching my hand and burning myself. The torches that we have, they're all a little bit different depending what your shop's gonna have. Mine that we use, I'm gonna turn the bottle on and I'm gonna depress the trigger on it and ours self-ignites and I can hold the button down on here to keep the torch running. My solder, I have set up ready to go. What I'm gonna do is apply heat around the joint evenly. Once smoke starts coming up, I'm gonna apply solder to it. All right, so here I go. I'm applying heat all the way around the fitting towards the back side. You can start seeing the smoke coming and my solder melts. I remove my heat and I run the solder around the joint. While it is still a little warm, I'm just going to use a rag and wipe the excess solder off. If I need to, if there's a drip on the bottom or it's running, I can apply the heat again to it just to get the solder molten and then wipe the flux off. Now you got to be careful at this point, the copper is hot and you want to be able to move on to the next step. So with a pair of pliers, you're going to grab the copper, remove it from the vise, and what we're going to do is quench it in the water, a bucket of water. What that water is going to do is help cool the copper down so we can move on to the next step. Make sure all the water is out of it, and what you can then do is wipe it off. And this is what your finished product will look like. So the joint is soldered, the cap is firmly in place, and we can progress to pinching the end and finish building your project.